Oh, I'm Pat, by the way. Welcome. Oh, I got a microphone. Hey, everyone. Welcome to PRGE 2025, October 18th, 2025, which means it's the 40th birthday of the Nintendo Entertainment System today. That's amazing. I'm so happy to be here. I think I like the NES. I think I love the NES. And, all right, I'm going to lower a little bit. This is fine. All right. Today we're going to have some fun. We got 43 minutes of fun. We're going to do some NES trivia. I'm going to show you some 1985 NES launch research stuff I've come across. Pat the NES Punk might have a short message for you all. That wacky dude. You guys know that Pat the NES Punk guy? Yeah. Yeah, he's a nutball, but he's lovable. And then what else we doing? Yeah, that's enough for a panel. And then Q&A if we have time. So 40 years ago, what happened? The NES came out in the New York City area, northern New Jersey. It was not a great time for games. You know what? I'll let maybe Pat tell you about it. Let's let Pat tell you about it here. Let me pause that. Put the volume back up here. Okay. No, not in Television Amico Christmas. We're not doing that one. Okay, where's the volume? Here we go. I'm a professional, by the way. Here we go.
All good.
Come on, Pat. You can do better than this. Maybe not. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I'm just playing some Excite Bike in celebration of the Nintendo Entertainment System turning 40 years old. Oh, come on. You didn't think you'd go the 40th birthday of the NES without the NES Punk? Come on. You're killing me. You should know better. Oh, whoops. I should pay attention. Yep. It was 40 years ago, October 18th, 1985. The NES debuted in the New York City, northern New Jersey area. And, it reshaped the video game landscape at that point in time. Video games was a dead market in North America. The console market was destroyed. The video game crash, Pat, of 1983. People thought video games was a fad. It was like the pet rock, Slinkies. You were going to move on to computers and computer games and throw out your old crappy Ataris, which is what a lot of people did, or throw them in a landfill. But, Nintendo said, we're going to try this out. And they did. And it was a minor miracle. But, maybe someone will do a video talking about that at some point in time, huh? Yeah. Back to Excite Bike, which was one of the 17 NES launch titles in October 1985. It's a great game. So much fun. Great. Is it great? Let me pause this. Great. It's good. Very good even. But is it great? I wish I had that Ultimate NES book to look it up and read about it again. But unfortunately, I lost it in a poker game to DK Jr. I'll just order another one. Sold out. Where did that moron print like 40 of them? Oh, of course, the N64 book's in stock. Let me try eBay. 145, 150, 320, 200, 225, 276. What does it come with Little Samson? I guess I'll have to wait until that guy decides to print more of them. Or maybe he just does a new edition. That could be cool. What's happening? Oh no. A crummy commercial? Really? I'm gonna get back to some Excite Bike. Maybe today you can play one of the classics too. Happy 40th birthday, NES. I'll see you later. Woo! New world record, yeah. New world record. I'm the best at video games, yeah! That sounded better in my head.
Yay!
There you go, everyone. Yay! So that was that goofball, huh? You can't go the 40th anniversary without an update from that guy, right? I think so. So, yeah, I'll put this back on in the background. So, no, turn the music off. So, yeah, this morning pre-orders went live for the new edition of Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the NES Library, expanded edition. So, no pressure. But everyone's asking me, when's the book going to be reprinted? And it's been 2 years since it's been out of stock almost for the third time. So all new edition, we're re-editing the entire thing. We're rewriting a lot of it. New cards, card images. We're rescanning every single NES label, which has not been done before from a single source, including the spine labels. So one of the problems with the repositories, none of them have a complete, well, not almost none of them have a complete label library, but none of them have the spines for all of them. So that's a laborious process because to scan that, you need 2 scans for every game. You got to scan the front, then you got to somehow scan the spine, and then you have to fill in that little millimeter or so and a half that you can't scan because it rolls over from the top to the spine, you know what I mean? So that was a lot of work, and boy, I'm happy I have a good team, and yeah, so that's that. So hopefully you guys enjoy that, and there's 3 different covers available. There'll be a Kickstarter next year too, but get in early, as they say, and pre-order at ultimatenintendo.com. But enough about that. You want to do some look back at some history of the NES besides what Pat said? Yeah. There's also going to be like it's funny because I was talking to good old Frank Savaldi from the Video Game History Foundation, and they're doing a great panel tonight at 5 p.m. to 7. I'll just advertise their panel. It's to be a 2-hour panel, and Frank has a PowerPoint. He's going to have Gail Tilden there, who worked at marketing at Nintendo, was the editor-in-chief of Nintendo Power. Bruce Lowry was the VP of sales. So both of them were on the ground in Hackensack, New Jersey, to help do the test launch in '85. They're also going to have Lance Barr, who did the redesign of the NES, who actually came up with the two-tone and the gray. So, and Bruce and Lance never did panels before, I don't believe. So go check that out at 5. But stay here first. Don't run off. Their panel's going to be better than mine, but I have some good stuff here too to talk about. So. Did I not drop in the images here? Oh, I didn't drop it in from my Google Drive. You know what? I'll just tell you. I'll give you the TLDR. So basically, what happened in '85 was this. Before '85, Nintendo tried to do a distribution deal with Atari. Some of you probably know this. When they were coming up, but even before the Famicom was even out in Japan, they were talking to Atari to get something done. And it didn't happen for a couple of reasons. One of the big ones is the video game crash and the selling off of Atari and all of that goodness and getting rid of their CEO and things like that. But then also Atari was working on the 7800, which was slow to come out. So Atari was probably like, well, why would we distribute the NES when we have our own new system on the way? So it probably didn't make business sense to do that. So that sort of fell apart. So what happened was then Nintendo said, well, let's just do it ourselves. Let's give it a shot. But we want the biggest market. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, right? That's the old saying. So after the Winter CES of '85, with when it was the advanced video system, you've seen the pictures of that, right? Where it's like sleek, there's a wireless zapper, an infrared zapper, and controllers. It had a lukewarm reception there, so they went back to the drawing board and said, we're going to redesign this. We're going to basically, let's make this look as little as an Atari as possible, because retailers are scared. They're not carrying video game consoles anymore by '85. They're not advertising them. They're all on clearance. They can't sell the stuff. It's junk. You all know this probably. So they were very skittish and scared about carrying any new video game console. So that's why they did they even called it the Trojan horse. We're going to make this look like basically like a VCR. We're going to hide the video game cartridge. We're not going to call it a video game. We're not going to call it a cartridge. We're going to call it a game pack, which Gail Tilden, I believe, came up with that marketing term. We're also going to have this Rob the Robot toy, and we're going to push that to retailers, even though they knew that was not a long-term strategy. They knew that was a gimmick, but they had to get their foot in the door. They did test market research. that summer of '85, and even then, the kids are like, yeah, Rob sucks. He's cute and adorable, but I don't want to use him or play him. But that's what they pushed at the summer CES of '85. They pushed Rob and all their marketing, all their materials. Meet Rob, your new video game buddy. Like as if Rob was going to sit next to you and play as Luigi in Super Mario Bros. That's how they sort of marketed and told people about it. Well, obviously the intent was never to do that. So they really pushed Rob and they pushed the light gun, the zapper. And it's like, hey, these are toys, but you're playing something that looks like a video game, but it's a toy. And that was really for the retailers. The kids liked the other games. It sounded like from the market research sessions they did. Like they liked the games. Oh yeah, these look great. These look like the arcade games. And at the time, the NES looked a heck of a lot closer to the arcade than any of the Atari consoles did. And one of the reasons why, well, in '84, I don't know if they have any in here. The Nintendo Versus systems, the VS systems, arcades. That hardware is very close to the NES. Like when you play those games, they look like the NES games. They're just pumped up a little bit with what they can do. So if you had seen that in the arcade in '84, by '85, yeah, that's the arcade. Like these are the games I'm seeing. Oh, that tennis looks exactly the same. That baseball looks exactly the same. Games like that. So it seemed like the market was sort of ripe for, we don't have competition anymore, but people still like video games, if that makes sense. So it was like the perfect storm of trying it, even though it was like 2.5 years after the crash was going. But like, we can try it now, because kids still like video games and even adults. So that's sort of what you see. I've researched a lot of the articles and coverage of '85 and '86 where people are skeptical, like, Nintendo's gonna try this video game console, but no one likes video games anymore. But we'll see what happens. The games look promising. It's like sort of like a healthy skepticism where it's like, well, the market's dead. We're not into video games anymore for consoles. I mean, these are what they were saying. This isn't a myth. They were saying this. I found this underground Atari zine article on like a BBS board where they were laughing at Nintendo. It's like, oh, can you believe they're trying to do a video game console now? And yeah, so the fear was real amongst retailers. But not amongst the kids, obviously. So I've been researching, I am working on a launch video, a Pat the NES Punk. Well, it'd be more like a gaming historian-esque video, less goofy, talking about the launch, talking about what retailers actually carried the NES. Where did they carry the NES? How did they advertise the NES? What did the games and console cost? Were there any promo events? Sort of like building the timeline of like, what did they do? They only had 2.5 months to do this and get it done that Christmas season. They had a constricted timeline. A team of only about 10 people did this. And it's like a minor miracle they pulled it off, got it into as many retailers as they did, sold enough through so that in '86, January winter CES, they can come to CES with the other large retailers and say, we just tried this out and it worked, buy in. Nationally. That was pretty much their strategy. So they went to LA in February, then they went to Chicago and did the mall. They basically did the same strategy in LA and I believe Chicago after that. Then by the summer of '86, it goes national. And what happens then? Why is that important? Well, by then, you got your foot in the door. By then you're selling, hundreds of thousands of consoles by then. And now this works. Now people like these games. Maybe not Rob. Because even Gail will probably tell you the stories at the mall. They had problems like setting up Rob at the mall kiosk and demoing it. It's laborious, the batteries. But one of the things that emerges from the coverage is like, yeah, people like Excitebike, that comes up. People like Kung Fu, Hogan's Alley. But this little game called Super Mario Brothers, people already realize this is going to be the hit. This is going to be. I think one article said like the sleeper hit, but like it wasn't a sleeper. And Nintendo knew that. So what happens is, as you know, when the NES first came out, they only had one SKU, one console. For most retailers, sold it for about $139 and change. At the mall, it was like $150, maybe $160, but most retailers were $139. The games ran between $23 and $30 for the most part. Stack Up was a little bit more money. That was like 35 to 40 Stack Up because it has all the Stack Up blocks in it and the accessories. So that gives you an idea of what the things cost. But everyone by mid-'86 knew Super Mario Brothers is the special one. This is it. So what Nintendo did was really smart. They split the SKUs up, the products up. They still had the original, what we know now is they call it the test console, where it doesn't say anything, it just says Nintendo Entertainment System. They kept that and rebranded that Deluxe. You've seen that probably out there with yellow letters, Deluxe. So that's the original one with Rob, the Zapper, Gyromite, and Duck Hunt. But then they said, we should probably sell Super Mario Brothers with the system itself. That'd be a smart idea. You'd buy that, right? So they packaged just the console, 2 controllers, and Super Mario Brothers. So they had 2 different products from the summer of '86 on, and that will net retail for about, I believe, about $90. So if you don't want to buy Gyromite and the Zapper, like my friend Kevin had the full set, a lot of people bought that console set because it was a lot cheaper. It was like, what is that? Pat Myth, $50 cheaper, and you're getting the best game on the console. So that's what really helped blow it up, like those 2 things in '86. So '86 is almost like we're rolling it out still. We're rolling it out. We're getting everyone involved. Now it's national the last half of the year. People are finding out about it. And then '87 is when it starts to blow up entirely, because the beginning of '87 you get the Fun Club newsletter, which Gail helped spearhead that. She'll probably talk about that later today. And then now you're getting traction with people. Now you know that this video games thing is back. It's not a fad that died out with the Atari and the crash, and now we're here again. And now the whole industry has changed, and people know by '87 that this is for real. By '87, you have millions of consoles sold, NES consoles. So there you go. That's the TLDR of it. If you go to the panel later at 5, you're going to have a much longer, just 2-hour panel talking about what they did in Hackensack, how they got the retailers. But one of the things I discovered in my research, which is all out there, you can find it, you can look at in the archives, is that the NES was in a lot of retailers. It was in dozens of retail stores. It was in a lot of locations as well. I don't think it's a myth, but some people said, oh, the NES was in like FEO Schwartz, Macy's, and a few other stores. No, it was in a lot of stores. They got pretty good market penetration pretty quickly. They'll say, Nintendo, when they went to CES in '86, I think they told people, we sold 90,000 of the 100,000 consoles that we produced for the test launch. That didn't happen. They sold a good amount. They probably sold between 50,000 and like 70,000. Frank Cifoli might have a specific number, but they sold a good amount based upon the fact that they had almost no marketing. They did have some late night TV ads, but they didn't have a lot of promo. All they had were retailers advertising in the newspapers and at the mall. I found 2 mall, any Mets fans here? Poor Mets fans like me? There you go. They did about 5 or 6 mall stops on the weekends. And some of them, they had Mets stars, Mookie Wilson and Ron Darling, show up, and they advertised them. I found the Mookie Wilson ones. He showed up with his kid on the weekends, and they played, and they met fans. So that was good because the Mets were popular in '85. They were they were second place that year, so they were on the rise. So they were really trying to do these things. They also were at a huge event at Giant Stadium in late October '85. There was a chain called Brick Church. I don't know if everyone's familiar with that. They were like New York, New Jersey, and mostly an appliance store, but they also sold TVs, VCRs. They had an event at Giant Stadium the weekend of October 23rd to 25th, a 3-day event, like almost like come out, see our products. We'll have demos of them. We're gonna have things set up, but they advertised like, hey, come see Captain Lou Albano. Come see a race car driver. Then they said, and this is why I have to do more research on to try to find this, or ask the Nintendo alumni, come chat with our 5-foot-tall talking robot. They advertised that entire week. So the PR firm must have hired someone in a robot costume with like a voice changer to like stand there and like talk to people, while the NES was being showed. I've never heard of this before. I have found it. It's not online. No one talks about this stuff. So this is stuff I've been digging into that I think is super interesting because it shows you that they had a very disciplined, smart, on-the-ground marketing plan. They only had a quick time to get this into stores. So what you see is that, yeah, it was at FAO Schwartz pretty early. We're not sure where else it was that early, but then by late October, early November, it starts being advertised. A lot more places. It starts being advertised like Nobody Beats the Wiz. Starts being advertised at Save Mart, which was a chain in New York, New Jersey. It starts being advertised at Newmarket and Lewis, which was a pretty famous chain back then. Now they're all dead. But back then, especially in northern New Jersey, New York, if anyone here is from there were a lot of these regional electronic store chains where they'll have like 6 stores, 8 stores, 12 stores. They all like dried up by the late 90s. Here's one, Crazy Eddie. Shout out Crazy Eddie. I have a sticker. They were Crazy Eddie by December. They were advertised. They were pushing it. Then there was a retailer named Consumers Distributor, based out of Canada. And they were like service merchandise. Anyone familiar with service merchandise here back in the day? So these were stores that you'd walk in, and how they set it up was this. They would display the item you're buying, the toaster oven. They would display the VCR. You couldn't pick it up and carry it to the cash register. You filled out a little slip, like you did work. Like you filled out the number and the price. You took it to the cash register. You paid for it, and hopefully it was in stock on the back. Someone in the back stocker would bring it into a conveyor belt and bring it out to you, pick it up. It was a weird process, but these things existed 30, 40 years ago. I guess it was cheaper to do that than put them all out in stock. Here's the point. Consumers Distributor was one of these large ones. They also did mail order. They had these catalogs. So they were based out of Ontario, but they were also in New York and New Jersey. They had dozens of locations in New York and New Jersey. They advertised the NES for sale in big ads directly. Just the NES. Come see this new, they never use the term video game. They always dance around that in all these. It's always like, come see the video robot system. Come see the entertainment system. No one ever used the term video game in all these ads. It was toxic. Except for one ad I saw that said, this is not a video game you've seen before, like to differentiate it. So anyways, the point is this. Consumers Catalog / distributor was called Consumers Catalog. They had all these showrooms in New Jersey and New York. So what's curious is this. I'd never heard of this before, that they were there. This is not in any of the articles. It's not online. But they advertised it for 65 locations. They took out full black and white, almost full-page ads just for the NES. So they had some special deal where they must have gave them a lot of stock to move the product. This is information that I'm still trying to uncover. Hopefully I speak to Bruce Lowry, the VP of Sales. Maybe he remembers how they set up these deals. He spoken publicly how they got into Toys R Us. The only reason they got into Toys R Us is because they knew Bruce. Like the people, by the way, Toys R Us was headquartered in northern New Jersey. Sounds like a perfect place to set up. You're near Toys R Us headquarters. You're near all these malls. There's tons of malls in northern Jersey. You're a half hour from Midtown Manhattan. It's like a perfect epicenter they chose to do this work. It was very smart to do that. But this consumer catalogs thing is so intriguing to me because the risk they must have took and the money to advertise just that console on basically, a dead product, video games. That to me is super intriguing. I love to learn more. I'm still going through that process. So to me, this stuff is fascinating because this stuff hasn't been talked about. The timeline of like getting into Hackensack, New Jersey as a company. Talking to all the retailers, getting the product, which came directly to them. They had to then hire truckers to bring it to the stores or bring it themselves, do the mall things on the weekend, and then refer them to the retailers that had it, because they weren't selling them at the malls, they were just showing them off at the malls. This is a lot to do. They were working like 20-hour days, a lot of this. They were working nonstop for like 10 weeks until Christmas. This is crazy what they did. I don't think they get enough credit, the people that were actually there. Because if they didn't do that work and show proof of concept, the video game industry could look entirely different today. It could have been, maybe the NES doesn't come out here for a few more years, maybe it doesn't come out here at all, maybe the Sega Master System comes out in '86 and that's what we all play, or that never catches on, which it kind of didn't here. Like, you know what I mean? Like things, it could be like a butterfly effect. So anyway, so that's a primer on the research I've been doing. Go to the panel at 5 o'clock. It's going to be great. Yeah, any questions about that real quick? Then I'll do some trivia. Was I rambling too much? Was that interesting at all, what I was saying? I'm sorry I forgot to download the stuff to my hard drive, but I had like pictures of some of this and the new stuff. I'm sorry. I had examples. I feel bad.
Don't feel bad.
It wouldn't be a Pat panel without some technical issues.
Thank you so much, yes. There's always technical issues. But I will be working on a video. The script is like half done. It's a very gaming historian-esque video. I always want to have Norm narrate it and screw with people. Yes, question.
So, growing up, I got the Mario Brothers game and then the Duck Hunt game, but then I noticed some friends who had the combo cartridge. When did that come into play?
The action set came out in '88.
Okay.
That was after they phased out the deluxe set with Rob. Rob was done by '87. They're like, Rob, you serve your purpose. Thanks, guy. You're a sacrificial lamb. You're cute and all. We still love you.
Yeah.
People will go out and buy Rob for $80, $100. You know what I mean? But yeah, they got rid of it. The action set replaced the deluxe set. So then you had the action set, and you had the console set with Super Mario. Then they also did the one with the player's guide as well. If you remember this, they would have the player's guide. Thankfully I got the Super Mario one, as some of us probably did. You're getting the best game on the console at that point. You know, Legend of Zelda comes in there too. But you're getting like the best game for free, basically. That's a great the value of that, as someone would say. So, yes.
You mentioned the pricing done by the retailers. Was that determined by the retailers themselves, or did Nintendo say, hey, we expect you to sell the console at this rate?
There was always an MSRP.
Right.
Suggested price. A retailer can sell it for whatever they want, obviously.
Right.
That's the other part of the puzzle, and then one of the reasons why it was a success. They basically consign the consoles to retailers to get their buy-in. The problem is we don't know how that agreement went per retailer.
Sure.
They said to the retailers, they basically gave them a soft guarantee. After 90 days, we'll buy back whatever you don't sell. So, or give you credit for 90 days to buy it. Basically, we'll credit you, which is still the same thing. You don't pay us until you sell it, which had not been done before either. So it was a combination of that, the marketing pushes, getting in like the giant stadium events. They had the late night TV ads, which you've probably seen. I should have had that here to show you. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. I thought I put it on the hard drive because they did full minute ads. They did 30-second ads showing that off, and but there wasn't a ton of marketing, but they had enough. And then all the ads they did. Like I said, the number of retailers was probably 40, at least that I verified, and there's a few more that were probably verified through internal documents. But they were in not 500 locations, which was I think the Game Over book said. It wasn't that many. I verified at least 250 physical locations this was at in the New York, New Jersey area. It was in a store less than 15 minutes from where I grew up, and I had no idea. Until I talked to my sister, and I said, you remember that brick church store? Because I looked at the addresses of some of these places, and I said, that's not far from where I grew up. And I did recall seeing the NES demoed somewhere in New Jersey at least a year before I had it, and I got it in '87. I remember seeing it on a console TV. So I called my sister without prompting her. I said, do you remember a place called Brick Church? And immediately she said, oh yeah, we went there. We saw the NES there. She immediately remembered that. And I was like, wow, you remember that's where you saw the console. I just remember seeing it at some store where I was 5. I don't remember where. So we saw it the first few months. And I had no idea it was that early when I saw it. And I asked my father, and he's like, yeah, we went to that store to get like a VCR, I think. That's why we went there. And I'm like, okay. I saw the NES. I was looking at a video game, but I didn't know exactly what I was looking at yet. And after that point, I didn't really have any access to the console until '87. My friend Kevin had it. And so I started playing it in '87 and got it for that Christmas. So it's just fascinating when all these pieces start coming together, you know. So, all right, want to do some NES trivia? Yeah. So if you win, if you get a question right, come back to the booth, 612, write it down, 612, and I'll give you a sticker if you answer it correctly. And just raise your hand. 1 sticker per person if you want to do multiple, but give other people a chance. What were the 3 Zapper games that were NES launch titles in October '85? All the way in the back.
Duck Hunt, Pony's Alley, Gumshoe,
No.
Oh,
In the front with glasses.
Duck Hunt, Hogan's Alley, Wild Gun.
Correct. You win a sticker. Come in my booth later. Correct. Next question. How many NES launch titles were there?
17?
Correct. You got to raise your hand. You can't just shout it out. You don't get credit. Can you name them all? I slip up sometimes on that because a bunch came out in '86, like 8 came out in '86, and then the last 4 or 5 came out in '87.
I have no idea. I think I got my console the same year as you, like every year.
87, Christmas '87. '87 is when it really blew up.
It was either 87 or 88. I just can't seem to really remember.
Sure. I mean, by 88, you can say 88 is when it exploded.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo Power, but by 87, this is a hit by 87.
Yeah.
Here's a gameplay question. What is the name you enter in the Legend of Zelda to access the second quest? Zelda, you got it. Come to 612 later. This is a tougher one. This is almost worth 2 stickers. What NES packing game featured games not developed by Nintendo in North America? What NES packing title featured games not developed by Nintendo in North America? Hands up there.
Tengen? T-E-N-G-E-N?
No, I'm also looking for the packing title, the name of the game. Yes.
Would that be the World Class Track Meet, the triple pack cartridge?
They kind of developed that because they got the rights to it. I should give you partial credit for that. That's not the one in my head, though, but I'll get you a sticker. That's not the one I'm looking for, though. That's not the one I'm looking for. Because, like, they did change the title screen on that, you know. But, yeah, I'm not the one I'm looking for, though, but it is partial credit. Anyone else? Okay, so they came out with the sports set with the remote control, and they did the 2-pack with Super Spike V-Ball and Nintendo World Cup Soccer. So they didn't develop either of those games. That's what I'm looking for. That's totally non-NES. That's what I was looking for. The other one's like a third of it's not NES. And then the bonus is, they did this, there's also 2 European answers to this as well. Yes?
I know Turtles is one of them.
They came out with a turtle set in the UK, and there's one other one they did, which is really cool. I've never seen it. They did a Smurf set in France. The Smurfs is De Schlumpf. Or Le Schrumps, whatever. There's Le Schrumps and De Schlumpf. I saw both the German and French out there. So they did a French Smurf pack in one. I've never seen that in person. I've seen the Ninja Turtles one. What was the first NES game to feature the Konami code?
Gradius.
Correct. Good job. A lot of people just say Contra. It's Gradius. What did it get you in the game if you put the code in?
I don't know.
Ah! It unlocked everything for your ship. What NES game involves pushing blocks of ice to hit enemies? You already answered, sir. Whose hand was up first? Honor system. Was it you or him? You got it.
Very nice.
No, I hear that a lot, though. It's close.
Kickle Cubicle?
Kickle Cubicle! An early NES Punk mini review. What was the last licensed NES game in North America? Yes.
Mario's Woods.
You got it. Come to 612 afterwards. That wasn't the Europe. They went further. I think Europe it was 95, Lion King or Aladdin. I forget which, but they were both pretty late in Europe for licensed. What was the last unlicensed game released in North America?
Sunday Funday.
You got it. Sunday Funny. Remember the karaoke we did in 2010? NES Marathon?
Monday out.
Come to 612 afterwards.
All right.
This is one that tricks people, and I love it. I wasn't designing this. What was the only NES title to start as a licensed game, then unlicensed, and then licensed again? In the back.
Tetris.
No.
Gauntlet 2?
No. No one ever gets this. Yes.
Arkanoid?
No. One, I'll give those two people
I'm
back.
answering for my friend if you pick me.
Is that your friend next to you?
Yeah, he doesn't want to say.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, you got it. Woo! Good job. That tricks everyone. I love it. This is I gave this one away before. What was the second and only other Rob-compatible NES game? In the back.
Gyromite Stack-Up.
You got it. Come to 612, get a sticker, get an 80s sticker. Any of you guys watch my 80s commercial streams on Wednesday? Twitch.tv/ContriCode? All right, those are the stickers I'm giving away. What game featured a strong Noah and little baby Moses? Yes.
Bible Adventure.
You got it. I like that game. At the height of the NES's popularity around 89, 90, what share of the home video game market did Nintendo hold? This comes from articles. Yes. I'll give that to you. It's like between 80 and 90%. Probably Nintendo would say 90, but reality is probably closer to 80. But yeah. That'll never happen again, by the way. I mean, ever. That's crazy. That's pretty much what Atari had in the early 80s. Some people had that in television. Some people had the ColecoVision, but yeah, that'll never happen again. What game was initially intended, we think, as a sequel to a Nintendo first-party game before becoming a third-party game? Intended, which is like in quotes. Yes.
That's Power Punch.
Power Punch 2, I'll give you credit, thank you. Bonus, what was the original name?
It's like things like Mike Tyson something or other.
Anyone know?
Doesn't Mike Tyson play Java too?
No. And we know this because the ROM was found, the prototype of it. It was Mike Tyson's Intergalactic Power Punch. Then they changed him to, what was it, Mark Jones, they changed his name? They didn't change the sprite in the game. What was the original name of the Power Pad before Nintendo redesigned it? Yes?
It was the Family Fun Fitness.
You got it. What was the packing game?
Did that also?
Yeah.
The Stadium.
No.
What? Then it was Snow.
Yes.
Is it World Class Track?
No. It was Athletic World. You get a sticker anyway. Come to 612. So that's people get confused. So they come out with, they came out July '87 with the fitness pad. They pack in Athletic World. Stadium Events does come out. It wasn't a test market, but no one was buying this crap because the fitness pad was expensive. It wasn't cheap. Stadium Events comes out. Nintendo acquired. They try to sell this crap for not crap. I like the fitness pad for several months. It's advertised in Fun Club. It's not advertised anywhere else, so no one knows it exists. Nintendo gets the rights just for North America. Remember, in like summer of '88, that's like their Christmas thing. That Christmas they come out with the Power set in '88 with the triple pack we mentioned before. And so they got Stadium Events. They redid the title screen to get rid of Bandai and Family Fun Fitness Pad, and so that becomes their new pack in World Class Track Meet. So they're kind of married to it. Then Athletic World is re-released as well afterwards, and they got rid of all the mention of the fitness pad on that. Okay, we got a few more. Is this fun? You like these questions?
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys like. You're too kind.
We like you, Pat.
You like me? Oh. 15 years later. Final one. What was the first NES game to have a password system in North America? Yes. You got it. Show some confidence. That's Metroid. Yes. Come to booth 612 afterwards. Come say hi, or I think it goes for any of you, but honor system, if you answer the question right, I'll give you a sticker if you want. And then I'm so sorry I didn't have the ad stuff ready. I thought I had it on my hard drive. Yeah. Any questions about me? We got like 2 or 3 more minutes about stuff I'm working on, things like that, the books, NES Punk videos. Yes.
You still know Kevin?
Kevin, my childhood friend / rival? No, I have not spoken to Kevin since the 90s. I know where he is on Facebook, though. Yes. Okay, well, he did cheat at Tecmo Bowl. We've gone over this. We just, he went to a different high school than me, and we stopped talking, unfortunately. Yes.
When's your next haircut?
I got a haircut like 3 weeks ago. Is it looking okay?
Looks good.
Thank you. So, yes.
How's Frank doing?
Frank's doing great. He's sad about the Yankees, though, but, you know. A sad Frank does not make me happy at all. He made a meat sauce a couple weeks ago, though, meatballs. That was good. And he makes his own garlic bread. And he's now getting into like these like lemon loaf cake things, the Krusties mix, you know what I'm talking about? He's getting into those and experimenting, doing like pineapple ones, and it's delicious. I'm starving now, intermittent fasting, I'm starving. I didn't eat yet today. Any other questions? We got like a minute or two. Yes?
How often do you think about friendlies?
How often do I think about Friendlies and their great ice cream? Whenever one's in the area. Unfortunately, there's not one in the area here. But I did get Friendlies back in Long Island in August. I got some Friendlies. Yes?
How's Ian?
Ian's doing good. He's doing good.
You miss him.
You miss Ian? I'm sorry. He came to Long Island this year. Yes?
How many NES consoles do you own, and do you have any that still are working with their original 72-bit?
Yeah, just about all of them, if you clean them and take care of them and don't bend the pins, it should be okay. I never replaced it with a blinking light win because it has a death grip, so I never did that. How many do I own now? Boxed or unboxed? Unboxed, I probably have like only 4. And then I have 2 top loaders that are modded. One is AV and one is HDMI, but I don't use those too much. And then for boxed ones, I sold off 1 or 2 of them. I had almost all the variants, the North American one, which was like, I think it's like 10. But I had the deluxe, I had the test one, I had the console Mario, I had the console with the player's guide. I sold the one without the console or player's guide. I had the 2 action sets, there's actually 3 action set variants. I had the original gray one, which quickly went away for the orange one. I sold the orange one. I used to have one sealed almost. And then I had the sports set, I had the power set with the power pad. What am I missing? That's about all of them. There's a couple of little variants, and I have the top loader in the box. So that's like 10, I think. So yeah, it's a lot. It's too much for any person. Too much. A couple more questions. Yes?
Are you going to do more episodes of Not So Common Podcast with Alex? That's fine.
You like the not so common with Alex? We took a breather on that. We were too busy for it. We'll see in the future. But I've been focused on getting this book done. Not that one. That's also for sale. But it's been good. It's been good. We're getting there. We're like 82% re-edited for the new book, so that's good. Yeah. Any plans to do a video with Norm the gaming historian? No, I might make him for a quote though in my launch video. Would you want to hear him narrate an NES Punk video? That'd be weird. You see my stadium events video? He has a cameo in that. Okay, but have you seen this cameo in my video? He did do a cameo. It's a quick cameo. It's funny. He was great. Yeah, I love Norm. Any other questions? We're almost done. Yes?
When does the ultimate guide to the Virtual Boy?
The Virtual Boy guide. But believe it or not, Jeremy Parrish, who's a guest here, has done a Virtual Boy book. Because it's not a lot of games. With Japanese games, it's like 25, 26 games.
It would be such a good book.
Check out his book, though. He does good work. All right, is that it? One more.
When are we getting another episode of Pat Plays? His Link to the Past video was good, but I thought it could have been better.
Wow, Pat Plays, that's a throwback. I forgot, that was Christmas video, 2010,
Yeah.
right? Wow, that's a throwback. Wow, you got me. I don't know about another Pat Plays video, but thank you so much. Come back to booth 612. I'll say hi. We can hang out. Thanks for coming out to my panel. Check out the 5 p.m. panel later with the NES alumni. And enjoy the rest of your PRGE. I thank you for coming out.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and here are a few more videos for you to check out.